Hey you, what? Hey, do you like metal? Like heavy metal? Heavy metal music? No? Well, check out this band, Aepoch. They're like really cool, man. They have a really fresh sound and they're also Canadian. Hey, that's cool. Do they have their own brand of like maple syrup or something? We've traveled quite a bit on this channel. We've been to Germany, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, but I think we should really bring it back to Canada right now and talk about a group that seriously represents how our scene is looking, the sound of the Canadian underground, and overall just a fantastic band that you should check out. And this band is Aepoch, and Aepoch is amazing. Aepoch hails from Cambridge, Ontario, and Cambridge, Ontario is known for many fantastic groups like Ingested Lobotomized Remains, Fecal Twat, and Orchidectomy. Oh shit, you guys remember Orchidectomy, man? Oh, they released that one album like 10 years ago and then it was impossible to find. I honestly didn't even know Orchidectomy was from Canada. I didn't know. So yeah, the city is mainly populated by some brutal death metal, some gore grind, but I think Aepoch really breaks the mold and comes out with a more progressive sound. The very first release we got from the band was an EP aptly titled Apocalypse. Apocalypse. I have to say this is a very, very fresh sound for something that came out in 2015, and overall this whole EP has tons of replay value. I think it's impossible not to make comparisons to a group like Death and maybe compare it to Chuck Schuldiner himself, because a lot of the riffs and transitions and interludes and passages, they kind of do sound a bit like something you'd see on like Symbolic or something like that. But that isn't a bad thing. You see, unlike Gruesome, that kind of rips off Death's sound and doesn't really do anything original with it, Aepoch actually takes inspiration from Chuck Schuldiner and creates something completely fresh and different. Because although this is a progressive death metal album and it wears its influences proudly, it still stands on its own. I think the best example of this is on the third track, Extinction is Imminent, and if you combine it with the second song, Existence is Imminent, you actually see that this album has a lot of great storytelling going on, and the two tracks serve as a beautiful opus, and I think it's the best moment on this whole EP. Six years later, Aepoch finally comes through with their long-awaited, highly anticipated debut album, Awakening Inception. That's right, 2018, we got a new release from Aepoch, full-length, and I have to say, it's pretty damn good. This album actually features different members than on Apocalypse, like Kyle Adisi from Invicta. Oh my god, if y'all don't know about Invicta, let me blow those little noggins off, because Invicta is the best goddamn thrash band in the current decade. And Raider. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, Awakening Inception is definitely a step up from Apocalypse because it does not hold back its brutality. Now, I know this album isn't specifically brutal per se because it does focus on the more melodic and progressive elements in it. However, I think the way all of these come together is really, really fucking heavy. The guitars are dizzying and they're doing pretty much anything you could imagine. They're being underlaid to provide extra rhythm. They're melodically riffing somewhere in the background, chugging with the rest of the band for that extra girth. Interlaced with that are some solos that sound a bit like Rings of Saturn, and boom, you got 10 out of 10 guitars, 10 out of 10. Don't need to do anything else. That's it. The drums are pounding at your head all the time, and the vocals from Brett McIntosh, woof! They're so filthy. Like, they're actually, you hear this putridity in his vocals, which I was not expecting for a sound like Aepoch has, but they sound fucking stellar. other than a slightly more raw production, Awakening Inception is just a big step up from Apocalypse, and I think it was really a great time for the band to be moving forward with their sound. The storytelling improved, the writing got even better, and overall this is a fantastic album to own, so I'd really recommend you pick up Apocalypse and Awakening Inception if you can. Killer stuff. So that was 2 years ago, and since then Aepoch has been molding, crafting, and creating this new sound for us. And since COVID hit and we're all at home, bored out of our fucking skulls, they decided to announce a new EP called The Scryer, set to release July 31st. Now for all you measly metalheads out there, I did actually receive a promo from this from Brett McIntosh himself. Thank you, Brett. I'm not going to spoil everything off of The Scryer, but I will give you the gist. The Scryer is the first honest attempt I've seen at Aepoch really crafting a sound that is truly and honestly theirs. You can still see those death influences a little bit, but it's barely noticeable because Aepoch stands on their own as themselves. So as with previous material, we saw this band experimenting with spacier vibes, more atmospheric passages, but what you get on The Scryer is just non-stop tremolo picking, some thrash riffs like on the song The Scryer, and Brett's vocals sound even filthier somehow. Like he does way more varied highs and lows and different kind of ranges, and it sounds so good. The EP has tons of fantastic moments that I can't get enough of, like the breakdown in The Scryer or the fancy bass work in Shrapnel, but I really wanted to play a section of ozonization. Is that how you say that?
Ozonhalation.
Ozonhalation?
Halation.
Ozonhalation.
Ozonhalation.
It's a cool track. So yeah, that's really all I can say about Aepoch. Nothing bad. If you like what you heard, I would really be on the lookout towards the next few weeks for that Scryer EP. I know some of you might want to see me like shit on a band more and like really go at it with an album or something and be negative and sort of, you know, give like a brutal review. But I like good music. I don't actively go out of my way to search for bad music, but if I do find something terrible enough, I will make a video about it, trust me. But anyway, Aepoch's really good. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you would like to support Aepoch, I would highly, highly recommend you do so. All the links to their social media and such are down in the description. Please give them some love if you want to. My stuff is down there below too, if you'd like to. That sounded weird. My stuff is down below, yeah! My stuff is down below too. If you want to suck my Facebook page's dick for a second, then you can go over some regular updates. Nikodem signing out. Support bands, stay fans. Hills.